Happy New Year from Thailand, and I'm Jamie Nelson, and I am here with John from Thailand, and he is our resident monk over there, and he wants to say Happy New Year to everyone from there, and he has some exciting news about a new charity that he's starting up with Bitcoin. And he's going to tell us about it. It's called Democracy, it's Dhamma-cracy. And thanks for joining us. Happy New Year, John.
Well, Jamie, we have 5 minutes to go here in Thailand. I can hear a music band still playing, so I'm sure there'll be some indication that it's midnight here. Starting to go off now in the background. But yeah, democracy is something that I planned to do last year. I went to Australia to visit my sister and asked her for some help to keep the backup records, or if anything happened, so that there would be one system. And while I was there, Bitcoin entered my, not so much consciousness, I've actually seen behind it more than a money system. And I've spent 2014 kind of derailed from Democracy Project and researching Bitcoin, which is quite a lot from a standing start. So now I feel comfortable enough to plod along with learning, but the technology I'd like to include in it'll be a non-secular project that I'm hoping to do, a community-based project. So maybe interfaith, so it doesn't matter to me whether people have faith, a religion, or if we want to work together for a common purpose. And that's something I think is possible for monks and Christians, Islam. We all want the same things. Doesn't matter who's in the village. We all want. Here we go. We have the fireworks going off. So we don't have a countdown. We're a bit in the back of the town at the moment, so we don't have a big clock or a big bang like they do in London. So I think everybody sort of suits themselves. I don't know if you can hear anything in the background.
I hear some crickets.
Yeah, that's the sad that I got stuff going off over on one side and the other one's just starting now. I don't know how far away they are. But yeah, for the monks' New Year, normally we just have a candle-lit procession at midnight. We'll walk around the temple with the local villagers. So for tonight, I just wanted to be on to wish everybody at World Crypto Network a Happy New Year. I hope Bitcoin and the whole space, everybody that's working in it, I hope that they're all successful this year, and that we can move on from some of the empty Cox and Muller type stuff. And I'm not sure all the other altcoins and stuff. I'm just been focused on Bitcoin really. It's enough for me to try and take in one coin. But if I understand how that works, I'm pretty sure everything else is running along the same lines. So the blockchain technology is something that I would like to do, and I would ask your help and the boys there and any viewers that are known to us or want to help. I need 2 multi-signature wallets set up. Now, it doesn't matter to me so much which system or which wallet it is, because I want to just be having access or requesting funds to be sent down from the key holders or the guardians of the money. And there'll be 2 wallets. One is for democracy, which is non-secular, everything that's nothing to do with any religion. in the last few days, I've had a request to help another temple. They had a sponsor ask them if they would accept Bitcoin, which they don't have the facilities to do it. So I really would like to have a Buddhist wallet set up to help any temples. I can see this coming more and more. I can do my own temple with my abbot, but once it starts, I'd like to keep the two projects separate, because people who want to give to a Buddhist thing may not be interested in a community project somewhere else in the world, and vice versa. People may want to make sure that the money's not going towards building Buddha statues or doing some temple work, and I understand that. And my main focus will be on the community projects, and my abbot can focus on the Buddhist projects, and I'll just help him with the Bitcoin aspect. So that's where I'm at the moment, and I guess asking for help on December 31st is but I'm not in a rush for this. It's something maybe we could do live on air, because I've helped being a key holder before, and you said that if it's Democracy's project, that I should be the one to start the wallet.
Yeah, with I think from what I've seen with them, that I think the person that's running it should be the one that starts the wallet, because there's a few extra rights and things that go along with having the wallet, and the creator of the wallet has them. It's just pretty much just a technical thing, but if it's I don't know how much it matters, but basically you would want to be the one that starts the wallet once you figure out which platform you want to use, and then yeah, you just basically what you're trying to tell everybody, I think, is that you want to just be doing this on the air and on the record, so it's transparent and people can see that everything's on the blockchain, and all the money that's accepted for this charity is being used honestly, and you can see where every bit of the money is going.
I personally won't have control of this money. It will be beyond my reach.
Right, because it'll be in a multi-signature wallet that you're one of the key holders, but there's going to be, and we had talked like having a 4 of 7 signatures or something like that, that there would be, so you would have 3 other people that would have to sign off on any funds that were released from the main account to purchase anything, and then the next time you came and asked for money to be released out of the wallet, you would have to be sure that all the receipts and everything from the previous time
transaction has been accounted for. A proof of work, proof of spending, receipts.
Yes. So that having a charity using Bitcoin like this would be, it would be a good way for accountability, because we know a lot of the charities that are out there now have some underhanded stuff that's going on behind the scenes, and this is one of the things that John and I have talked about off the air that we want to kind of clean up.
Well, it's putting a system in place, and for me, I will register in the UK because I thought of doing just a Bitcoin only, crypto only registration or charity, and there is no need to register for anything like that. But I think I'll do the fiat system, proper NGO. I'm very comfortable with the registering of the NGO and stuff. I've done these before. So if I do that, especially in Thailand, so in Thailand we have a lack of Bitcoin use. So I don't want to cut off fiat funding for the projects. That would be a little bit naive. So my location means that it would be far more suitable to have a joint project, register as an NGO, and then the Bitcoin side, it's all publicly accountable. And if I make requests, I can do it either live on the air, we can do it on Twitter and things like that, where it's public, and it helps me keep on top of the paperwork. It's just very tempting just to put the paperwork to one side and push on with something else. And it's, I don't think many of us like filing paperwork and keeping records. And it's mostly down to laziness. It's not because we don't keep them, but we keep some in that drawer and some on the table, and I've got my monk's bag and little wallets. So I've got all the receipts scattered around, and it should be quite easy just to take a photograph of the receipt and put it up. And I can speak to Chris Ellis about time stamping and things. I know about the Merkle route a little bit now, but I don't know where to find that hash and things. But I'll have 4 days or 5 days. I've also registered democracy.com. The website is in Latin. Just because I haven't done anything attached to it. I actually requested the web designer not to put any content in, and some pages are blank, the donation page, because people tell you it's very easy to accept Bitcoin and QR. Okay, if it's that easy, perhaps we can do it on a show. I'd like to encourage people like others watching like myself as a monk with no technical experience. Okay, I can use my computer at the front end, but web design and all of this stuff I need help with, and we can measure it from the 1st of January.
Hey guys,
Hi James.
Happy New Year. So we're here in Hong Kong, and we've got the protest behind us. If you can see, you've got the yellow umbrellas. The police are already all out here. There's a lot of protesters out right now tonight. If we take a look right here, you can see all the yellow umbrellas are up. We want genuine universal suffrage signs as well. It's quite a sight. So earlier, you can see they've got their usual flags, for a legal assembly. So we were earlier kettled out, and no one was allowed in and out to join this protest group. But a large group of police officers have now gathered next to the protesters, and they've now opened up the line. So now everyone has been able to join together, but it might be part of their trap, it might be part of a larger kettle that they want to do. So people have to be aware, the fact that they've let people join into one large group, it might mean they might be trapped at the next intersection. So they're cautiously going down.
They could be kettled at any section right now.
Exactly. They could be kettled in at any section at any given time now that they're in one large group. But they are headed down to the main shopping district, which is where all the luxury shops are. What street is that again?
Canton Road.
Canton Road. So you've got your Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada. You've got all your luxury guys down there, and those shops are catered for the mainland Chinese tourists, not the local Hong Kong people. So you can see the protesters are now all headed down Canton Road. There's definitely a few hundred of them out here tonight. They're united with their yellow umbrellas up, and it's a really, really festive mood here in Hong Kong. You can feel the energy of the crowd, can't you?
Yeah, you can hear them. They're really excited and determined.
Absolutely. So they're going to be trailed by this group of officers here who's got their warning flags. So there's a large unit here waiting for this group to head down. So once this group regroups and heads all down, I'm sure these police officers with the warning flags will trail these protesters down Canton Road here in Tsim Sha Tsui.
Yeah, I have a feeling that police aren't going to do much at New Year's Eve. Police there look like they're smiling and laughing too.
Right.
We have Larry.
All right, we are joined by Larry.
Hey Larry, can you hear us?
Looks like Larry's joining us from a club somewhere.
The cats are inside.
Larry's joining us from a club live.
We're in Manila.
Looks like a partying over there.
Oh wow, he's in Manila. So we're in Thailand, Manila, Hong Kong, and America right now. We're streaming across 4 different countries.
So Larry's in Philippines.
Right. It was like at a go-go bar in the Philippines.
We lost Larry.
Right. It looks like the protesters are in a holding pattern because there are definitely thousands and thousands of people down on Canton Road. So movement will probably be quite restricted, and if anything, it'll be a slow march down Canton Road here.
Well, I saw the picture of the white and very beautiful family.
Thank you. I don't know where they are though at the moment. Have you seen my baby?
I have no idea.
Okay, my baby's somewhere. Might be back here. Yep, there's my baby. So in a little bit safer area. Hey, Thea. You're on WCN, baby. Happy New Year.
Hi, baby.
So this is the main tourist district of Chim Sa Choi in Hong Kong, and all the roads have been closed off and everyone's walking on the roads, but the Gao Wu, or the protest, the shopping protest tonight, are headed on Canton Road. So from a distance we can see all the yellow umbrellas right now.
How is
people who
it
don't-
different from a regular New Year's Eve?
Oh, you wouldn't see anything like this, right? People would just probably head home right after New Year's. But we can see today they're ready to go shopping. You've got all the protesters down there, and they're excited. They're raring to go. Looks like there might be up to 1,000 people out tonight. Yeah. Could you repeat that again, please, Acharn? Oh, absolutely. This is definitely not a regular evening. People don't usually protest in this country, but for it to be such a big thing. So we're headed a little more inside now, deeper towards the protest. You can see there's a lot of officers integrated within. Also, they're quite energetic once we get inside. Plenty of energy, familiar faces as well. So the message now is go, go, go. So everyone's now walking and marching downwards. Hi, 你好，旺角嗰度見啊上次。係啊，旺角嗰度見，龍和道都見。影到啦，我哋要真冇選。Alright, they're saying Nathan Road. Nathan Road is the chant, and we have some familiar faces here as well. So we're going to go all night, all the way to Nathan Road, it seems like. Hey! Good to see you. So you can see, guys, we've got friends, familiar faces. We're all gowing together here in Hong Kong. We're going to Nathan Road, baby. That's where we're going. Good to see you. Go. Happy New Year. So the Gao is up and active, everyone's cheerful, and we're headed to Nathan Road.
All right, Dave. Well, we just wanted you to pop in and say hi. You don't have to stay with us if you got other stuff to do there. Looks like you're awful busy.
Right, and so they're all behind me. They're chanting which is we want universal suffrage, true democracy is what they're asking for. They just want real universal suffrage, true democracy here in Hong Kong, and that's all they're asking for.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, James, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. It's glad you could join us. One more thing I want to show you. There was a 14-year-old girl who was arrested and put in a home, taken away from her family here in Hong Kong. And you can see people have drawn in chalk flowers all over the floor. She was actually released today, but you can see here the flower drawings all over the floor in Hong Kong to represent the chalk girl, the 14-year-old young lady who got arrested for just drawing chalk on the Lenin Wall. So she's been released on appeal tonight. The sentence was 2 weeks, but luckily she's been released already. But you can see all the beautiful, beautiful artwork drawn in the street in her memory. So we've got umbrellas, and we've got flowers. Yeah. So it was, it's great to join you guys, and have a happy New Year.
All right, James. Well, stay safe,
take care.
and Happy New Year.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, it was good to hear from James, and it's good to see that he's safe after his precarious adventures that he's had this year.
Yeah,
it's been quite an adventure.
Well, I think 2014 has been a learning experience for James, doing the investigation journalist and live streaming the same way it has been for me trying to understand crypto technology, digital finance and stuff. So I have got a lot of things in place. I was actually probably further on with democracy in 2013 than I was in 2014, because Bitcoin, when it hits you, when you see what the possibilities are for Bitcoin, it really opens your eyes. You don't have time for other things. Yeah, it consumes time. So I have got people here, and we have got a few ideas to introduce Bitcoin wallet and small promotion ideas. I've been contacted off here by a few Westerners, or people who visit Thailand on a regular basis, spending 3 or 6 months here. I've also contacted a Thai lady who's actually 2 or 3 kilometers from my temple, at a resort called Ban Pla Loma. It's a kind of dolphin watch resort thing, and she'd been studying for 5 years in America. So when she comes back, there's somebody that I can converse with in English, and she'd been trying to teach the local fishermen's children in the evenings and stuff. So I wasn't aware of this resort, and she's come back to help her older parents sort of fix it up, and we discussed doing a project in our own local community outside the temple. This is where I need democracy. We can be outside the temple, and I can still be a monk, and I can still help children with their homework. We can do a project. So it looks like she's very interested. Now she has to discuss this with her parents. So that's one thing. I've also recently met a civil engineer and a young his son is an electrical engineer, so I've discussed with them doing a project about Monk's Hut, having a bamboo and solar power, and the young student is very interested, so he's going to talk with his guys on the 12th of January, see if we can make some models. And his father can assist with the civil engineering if they do want to scale it up. So I have the solar project and the amulets. I have some wood amulets that we're interested in making. I have to check if I can do a QR code on wood, the quality and the lines and stuff. That's my test on 5th of January. So when I can't go out and do stuff like that, I can be working on the website. Now, the graphics on my website at democracy.com is just a little picture with a candle on it. I want no religious connotation on the site. There is a Dharma wheel, because Dharma means teaching. So here in Thailand, call him Pra-Yesu, Jesus. Jesus is Jesus teaching, Buddha has Buddha teaching, Allah. Jamie's got Jamie's Dharma. Ajahn Louis got Louis' Dharma. I can repeat somebody else's Dharma, but I can only give my own. So if we take it as Dharma as teaching, we can all learn. And that's what I would like to see it as. A democracy is a sort of learning centre where people could maybe come and get help with Bitcoin. I'll connect them onto one of you guys. But the older people in the village may not know how to use Skype and some of the video technology, and they may have sons and daughters overseas or grandchildren, and we can help have a place for them to come and connect and be able to see, like James just done, bring the new baby one. That for grandmothers and grandfathers, you know, that they may not be able to be there for a birth in America or Europe, Australia, but for the people to be able to talk to each other. I'm sure the young Thai people overseas can do it, but at the village at this end, grandmother, yeah, and the internet connection's always a bit difficult in mine. But tonight I've got a factory Wi-Fi. They're kind enough to Kun Zompong has vacated his premises, allowed me to use it. I've had a very interesting time, and there's some very good people down here. It's the next province to me. This is Rayong province I'm in. So I will need to go back to my temple because I forgot my monk's identification papers and my bank little pouch with money and travel documents and stuff. So I'm kind of stuck here until the holiday's over. But it's very, very good place to be stuck. It's not minus 25. The weather's lovely. The people are great. They're treating me very, very well. So I'm positive for 2015. I have some friends that will support me when I'm ready to move. And I'll need you guys at World Crypto Network or any viewers listening. So I say web design, content I can write up some stuff, but checking it looks okay. Any ideas? This was it's a reciprocal project. If somebody wants to help me, you don't need money. If you've got some skills, that's great. And as I say, I'm not a beggar. I'm not asking for money. I have a couple of friends who maybe they don't have time, so just get somebody else to help pay for it. But democracy, if people's got suggestions for things, I'm interested in clean renewable energy. I'm interested in herbal and natural medicine. Well, they say medicine, but cures, remedies. I've got a wide, diverse friendship group. So if somebody needs somewhere to put their stuff or their project, if it's compatible with what I'm doing, I'd be more than happy to promote any project. But I think the religious aspect, please, you know, if somebody is a religious or a priest, come and join us. But I'm not teaching religion. I won't be teaching Buddhism at a democracy centre. I have a temple across the road we can do that in. And if people do want to contact me about that, I've got another Twitter account, Trafarang. I'm going to start blogging on that for the religious aspect, just to keep myself involved and make sure that I don't slack off in my own practice. And that's personal. So what I try and do in democracy, I try and do for community and non-religious, and what I do at my temple stays in the temple. So the only thing is, and maybe this month we need to find out, is how many Buddhists watch World Crypto Network that maybe want to do a Buddhist project. That doesn't have to be my project. We need ideas, but we need to know how many people that way inclined. And how many people, Bitcoin people or crypto people, are in Asia, Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan? You in America and Europe, you seem to have this nice big network that are connected, and it's a little bit lonely at this side of the world. It's like James is over there, but he comes on the show on his own, and I do the same. So there may be people out there, and they don't have to come on the show. We just need to figure out a way of the numbers that we're dealing with. Is it worth having a Bitcoin hangout or a Bitcoin meetup in Thailand or in Malaysia or in Singapore? Where are our Bitcoiners in Asia, or those that visit Asia? We get between 12 and 18 million visitors to Thailand per year. So we have a lot of Westerners coming. Russians, East Europeans, Australians, Africans. These people know about Bitcoin, but there's no outlet for them to spend it. So it's Anna, I think, has some question.
Yep, Anna has some questions. Well, she wants to know, for both of us, what our goals and plans are for 2015, and especially regarding our engagement with WCN and Bitcoin in general. I think you kind of just went into what your Bitcoin and stuff and what your plans were for 2015. I guess my plans are that I kind of just go with the flow and kind of see how things are going, and I don't make real long-term plans because there's so many things that are outside your control that...
Yeah, I mean, for me, my visa situation,
really hard.
I've got to apply for a visa in March of 2015. So I've got 2 or 3 months to get this done. My Abbott's birthday's on the 9th of February. So on the 9th of February, it would be nice if I could have my website finished and all my paperwork submitted into the UK registration process. There's no definite date. It's just I know my Abbott is interested in doing projects, but he's getting older. He's over 60. He's got to deal with the older people that come to the temple, the older ladies and people that they won't learn Bitcoin. So if he looks after all the old people that have looked after us for the last 10, and in his case 38 years, I think it is, as a monk, he can continue that, and we can have another project. And I've got a web domain site for him, for thaitemple.com. So this is, say, if there is Buddhists here and stuff, we can start doing this. My Abbot understands I don't have time to do both projects. I'm not very good at web design, so we can follow all this up later on. But the two wallets, I don't know, maybe Theo, Chris Ellis, maybe Thomas, they've got some ideas which is suffice for us. And as I say, I'll leave the technical aspects up to you guys. Whatever you decide, I'm more than willing to follow your advice, because it's a big. There's a lot to choose from out there, and I can't do it.
And Anna asks, tell us about some Thailand New Year's Eve traditions, please. And does the Buddhist calendar align with ours? And some Scottish traditions too. How will you celebrate?
Yeah, well, let's start with the Scottish tradition. I think everybody knows what that tradition is. It's partying, drinking, going to other houses. In fact, I think Edinburgh's got a big street party and stuff. But I don't know that they allow alcohol. It doesn't sound like much of a party for the Scottish people I know. But Scotland is a lot depends on the weather. If it's a nice weather, then street parties can be okay. If it's freezing cold, rain's coming down, and you're not allowed to drink, these parties are not fun for anybody. In Thailand, prior to my ordination, I found quite surprising, because I'm up country a bit, and the bells go and everybody says Happy New Year, then they carry on watching a film, or somebody goes to bed, and is that it? 12:10, and it's no, for being brought up in Scotland, that's terrible for me. It's like, get me a taxi, get me some. Where are you going? Everywhere's closed. And there must be somewhere open. Bangkok, I'm not sure. I've never really spent much time in Bangkok. The calendar is a lunar calendar. The monks and most Asian countries will follow a lunar calendar. The Thai New Year is actually on Songkran, festival in April, the water festival, and that mid-April, 13, 14, 15. It's never a set date, because this is, I think, the Indian and Asian calendars. They move with they don't have a fixed starting date. Some years they've got 13 months in them due to the two moons and stuff. So the Thais are very hospitable. They celebrate Christmas, Halloween. They like celebrating. So if it's Chinese New Year, we'll have that. Farang New Year, the Western New Year, we can have that. We can have a Thai New Year. It's a great place to live. It's not such a great place to own and run a business when you have to keep giving people all these holidays. Yeah, I can't remember how many public holidays there are. There's a lot, and sometimes the government or palace throw in, it finishes on a Friday. I'll just have the extra day. But if you're the owner of the company, that means you've got to pay, and you get no work. It seems kind of tough. For me, the traditions with the monks tonight are walking round the temple with the lay people. Problem is, unless I have a half decent video camera, having people walking around in the dark, all holding candles, my video quality wouldn't be enough. It's all, I've tried it before, so I'll see if I can get myself a camera this year and keep a little video diary, 5 or 10 minutes every day, and maybe post it up to somebody at WCN and the end of the month, and you can help me edit or tell me how to edit or something. I don't really know this. I say I would like to have the space for a reciprocal work or project, and to show people you don't need all the expertise and a big pile of money behind you. If you have the willpower, the idea, and the belief that people will come and help you, and I believe that. I've seen enough.
My cell phone is going off, and I don't know where it is. There, let me sit on it. Okay.
Why don't you just answer it? Sorry. So this is it for me. I think my projects, we can open it up for everybody to see. There's not a whole lot there. The content isn't written. There's some ideas, and I've seen enough in the crypto space and community, and general on the web, social media. I think there's a lot of good people out there, and most of us want the same things, and hooking up projects, combining them. I see the Unmonastery project, and that struck me. That's a lot of what I want to do. The Unmonastery, utilising space, taking over a derelict house and asking, could we make it into some kid's place, and we'll fix it up and we'll give it back to the owner in 3 or 4 years in better condition than we found it, and we get to use the space. Now, I'm quite sure there's plenty willing people, and I've mentioned it to you off here. If there's a way of getting yourself over here, I feel sorry for you sitting in that snow and rain, mate. I really do. But if things were in place, I mean, what you do, you could do from Thailand. You could do your hosting and your shows and stuff. So we'll see what happens in mid-January. I'll give you an update. But we need to do the wallet. As I say, the public accountability. And at the moment, it will just be me here that's publicly accountable. But I'm easy to find. I'm easy to find on the web. And I would like that. And we can figure out about the time stamping and the GitHubs, and Chris can show me how to do my proofs. I've got no experience, so people watching it can watch me goof around and not get it right and start, okay, maybe we do this, not a live program, but we can then show how many mistakes, you know, and people can watch it if they're interested. You don't have to tune in live and watch us snapping about, but I'm quite sure we'll have problems. Yeah, you guys
it'd be a learning experience.
Yeah, but like you and Theo and Chris, if you guys get problems with your take, I'll share my screen. Well, I was going to share my screen, and yeah, I've got to make sure that my internet connection, or I'm in a place where the internet connection is not going to play a factor in the mess up, and my tempo's not the best. It switches itself on and off. I don't know why. Outside the tempo, I've got places I can be at certain times and do work if we have to do that. So I see Chris said he's leaving the UK, but I think he's already sorted out. He's got stuff sorted, so I'll chase him on that. He's a good lad, and if he's got some problems, I haven't got money to help him, but he knows he can always call me, and I'll try and make sure he's not homeless or he's got food for the day or something. I admire what he does, and I like what he's given me a lot of help. So have you. Theo's offered to help. Without World Crypto Network and you guys off here, people don't appreciate, is I've asked a lot of questions and things that I don't understand, and these people have given their time freely, willingly and freely. So I appreciate it. I don't know how I can help you in return, but it's in my heart to do so. Might not be in my will, in my means, but if I'm in a position to help another person, I'm more than happy to do what I can. So,
well, you and I become quite good friends just talking over Skype and stuff. I mean, we can sit down, and we have a kind of a similar background with being engineers and things too, so we have a lot in common with that. And you know, you and I will sit and we can just kind of shoot the breeze about things like that too, where and we're kind of the same age.
That helps me refine my ideas. I need somebody to bounce ideas off of, and there's no monks in my temple I can do that with. I can do some friends, and these guys, they've got their own lives too. The same Chris and you're out trying to make money. You've only got so much free time that you can donate to another person. I do appreciate that. I have a comfortable lifestyle. I don't need to worry about paying my electric or having somewhere to stay or food and things. But in times like that, if somebody's got a problem, I don't have funds to send them. I can't help in that way. But people that are in Thailand, yeah, I'm in a much better position to do something for them. And I hope that maybe some people would have time to visit us, you know, in Thailand. It's a good holiday. Go and visit Cambodia. I had a good time over there. It's worth a trip. The conditions here are very, very stable. I don't know how the news appears over in the West now. I don't have a TV, so I don't get any feedback on that. But Thailand's a
any news about Thailand here, except for what I hear from you.
Well, all the street, a year and a half ago, the street protests, and it puts people off coming, because it's, you can't get in a taxi and go across town. People, great shopping and all that, but if you've got to go shopping where James is at the moment, who's going to go to Hong Kong for shopping? Out of choice. Fly from Australia. If they're planning on going to Hong Kong, they'll just change it. Look at that. Let's go to Thailand instead. And that's what
Or go to
Thailand's
Singapore, yep. I know lots going on in Singapore right now. They're really trying to build Singapore into a technological hub. And I know you had told me off the air that China is pushing to make Thailand a technological hub.
Thailand would like to be a hub. Now, the problem is you need the Wi-Fi throughout the country. And if you're in Bangkok, you don't have a problem for internet connections. Once you get away from the main towns and stuff, the internet can be intermittent or very slow. And this is it, 3G is not available throughout the whole country. I've read some countries are going on to 5G. It takes a long time getting things done here, but maybe if some, they get serious about it, it would be great. I'd love it, but Cambodia's got high-speed internet. I believe it's 56 gigabytes, megabytes, I don't know. But I never bothered looking much into that. I went to the temple, they didn't have any Wi-Fi. So I asked the abbot to price up how much it would cost to have a phone line put in. And that way I can go and do work there. Or I can stay where I am and I can connect with him on, he's got it on his phone. He can connect, but he said it's slow and it's quite expensive for them. So, okay, if we can do like in Thailand, it costs me less than $15, 50 cents a day or something to have high-speed internet on a phone, and friends will sponsor that. It's made a big difference. I see the need in Thailand to help the children get away from the game aspect of their phones and try to see how much the phone can actually do, instead of sending stickers or shooting rabbits or whatever it is they do. They're obsessed with the phones. Even the young kids have all got phones. But Bitcoin's not known. I personally don't know any Thai coders or programmers. Now that should be fairly easy for me to do, is to go into a college where these things is happening and ask the lecturer, because my status as a monk can help them. Lone Paul would like to know, yeah, who does it? Who does it as a hobby? Who would like to do it? But it's a bit of an unknown for me, because it's I get used a lot in the temples to help the abbots with their tech. My computer's crashed, I'm locked out, I've lost my files, I forgot my password. That's a big worry for me. If they forget their own password for their emails, what would happen to money? That's why I would like to test a multi-sig wallet for the temple. So the abbot could ask for it, and we can move it down to them and hand it to them in currency that they understand, local money. Maybe if it's a small amount on change tip, maybe I can do phone credit. I can just send phone credit to the abbot, and he can give it to a local person or something. But it's a worry that they get money put into a wallet, and then they tell me they've lost their personal wallet password and expect me to find it. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. And there's no bank. You can't go down to anybody and say, I've got my card and I forgot my number, PIN number. So that's a big hold up for the temple. Okay, if I do with democracy, maybe I can find the people, Thai people, that work with democracy, that can teach the monks. There is some smart monks, but maybe they're from overseas and they're only here for 4 months and then they're leaving. But the top person at the temple tends to be older. The man in Cambodia was 34 years old. the abbot. That's very, very young. But he'd been a monk for 14 years. He had 103 novices with him. I mean, it's for me, that's a great place to hang out and teach the kids and stuff. But my abbot's over 60, and that's, you know, abbots at 40 and 50 and so is the norm. 70, 75, 80, and asking them to look after Bitcoin, cryptographics. I'm worried. I'm worried about my own. That's why I say I would prefer everything through a wallet, that if I lose my computer, lose my phone, make a mistake, that I can ask you guys to bail me out of trouble. So that's...
Well, that's a nice thing about the multi-sig wallets. If one person loses their password or their key or whatever, you have that backup of the other people can still retrieve the funds. And that's the best thing, or the best feature, I think, about it. And then you have the other feature of accountability with them.
Well, that's something that I think we can discuss either on Skype or off air between World Crypto Network, and you can advise me how is best for public accountability, and what's the simplest forms. Is it Twitter? You know, just post on Twitter? Is it come on, we do a short hangout? I don't know. You guys do all the hosting and the admin and bits behind the scenes, so I'd like to keep it that way if I can. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess it depends on what wallet we choose and the people we choose or have for co-signers.
Well, that's the same. The folks on WCN and the podium group. I mean, Shem, I don't know Shem personally. I think you knew him from before he joined the group. But people like them, if they've got time, it's just a backup. I mean, let's just say if there's 3 out of 6, it's just whoever's available. I know, like you and Theo spend time by the computer. I think Thomas as well. Chris is maybe more dotting around. He's not maybe always available on there. So somebody like Anna, I don't know what Anna's plans are or how much time she spends near a computer. And for me, that's I said, I've got a good feeling about WCN. I've never had any problem with anybody here. I think everybody's willing with their time, good, honest, and where we need help, it's been offered. I've never put a shout out and been left high and dry. You know, nobody help me. Get on with it yourself. And that's why I'm here, to try and reassure other people that are thinking of getting involved. It's a lot of research, but I think Bitcoin's at the stage now you don't need to understand all the technology inside. I know Chris wants people to, and I hear him talk about it, but if you're in the space, then you can make money out of the space. But the guy that drives the forklift truck on the factory, you know, works not 8 hours a day, he probably does a 12-hour shift. He comes home, he wants to have his dinner, see his kids to bed, and sit down with a beer in front of the TV. He doesn't want to spend 4 months watching YouTube videos. Yeah, 1 or 2 might, but your average guy in the street, he wants a send, receive, and how to do the QR code. And I think this multi-sig might help. Any other monks that want me to be a key holder on their wallet as a backup, yeah, I can do stuff like that too. And as I say, I'm nervous about having my own. But I don't have any.
I don't know if you saw that video or not, that Gavin Andresen was talking at San Francisco Bitcoin meetup a week or so ago, and he said, you know, people use cell phones now all the time. You don't need to know how your signal goes from, your voice turns into a signal and goes from your phone to the tower and through all the lines and then turns back into a voice at the other end to use a cell phone. People don't care how the technical end of it works. They just want the damn thing to work.
Well, there's still a lot of older Thai people that can't use the text on the phone. The text unit, well, I don't know how, they just use it as a phone. So, and that's to say, this is the problem with introducing Bitcoin. Here, cash is still king, and it will be for quite a long time. But I believe the area in Thailand, Khosan Road, the backpacker area, I believe they've got some places there that will trade Bitcoin and local Bitcoins. So it's up to people like me, and talking to a business as a monk, you know, they may trust me more than they would you, and that's just because I'm a monk. And I'll say, okay.
And well, I got a silly hat on.
Yeah, you got a hat. But like this lady at the resort, Banpla Loma. Okay, would you be interested in accepting Bitcoin? Okay, I'll help you with an address, and we'll make a multi-sig wallet. It's your wallet, but I'll help you just in case you lose your own money. But you can do the mycelium little phone app, and you can play around. So she speaks great English. If she can use it, number one, it's good publicity for her. You're one of the few people in Thailand. You've got a resort. You're trying to update the place. Okay. I'm probably not the best person to go and teach her how to do it, but if she can, maybe I tell her to come on Twitter and I show her on Change Tip how easy that is, and then we move over to mycelium. That's what I've done with the other guys. Change Tip's good for that. They get it instantly. Wow. Okay, you can send it to the next. This is great. Bitcoin's the same. It's a little bit, you know, about the codes and the QR things, but the multi-sig wallet, and they asked me about altcoins and other coins, and as I said, just stick with Bitcoin for the moment. I'm not trying to down anybody else's. I looked at Viacoin a little bit because I like the platform, this way that you could create kind of shares and stuff, and ask Theo to research for me a little bit about that. But all those coins out there, I think there's more than 500 now. So Dogecoin. Oh, I got some Dogecoin. Somebody sent me 24 Dogecoin. So I'm kind of figuring that I'm not retiring or doing anything soon. I don't know how much Dogecoins are worth, but the fact that I've got some, and that's something that people may want me to do at Democracy. Can we send you other coins? Oh, I don't know. I'll need to ask. I mean, that's the thing with these multi-sig wallets. Can you send anything into them? Is it only Bitcoin, or do they accept?
It's only Bitcoin. I don't know about the altcoins now. I think there's a few wallets out there that accept. They have to be programmed specifically to accept that altcoin. So it takes quite a bit of work to get a wallet to accept multiple currencies.
Well, maybe I can talk Theo into doing a Democracy WCN dump box where he can collect, scoop up all the coin. I don't know, because there's just too many, and I don't really have time to set up all the things, how to accept it and change it and exchanges. I'm fried. 2014 has fried me for study.
I know some exchanges used to have it where if you had an account on their exchange, you had a address, and you could send any coin that they had on that exchange to that address, and they would figure out what one it was, and they would put it in your account.
That's the guy I need. If you're watching the show, please contact me direct. I will have one of those wallets and then move it over in one transaction into the multi-sig. But it sounds like there's a lot involved, and as I say, for me, I need to get the practical side done on this. So if you guys are available to help me, I know you'll do your bit. I don't know what everybody's situation is. I wouldn't be planning on using up your time sending small money every day. It would be a set amount of money coming down the pipeline for a set part of the project. So it's not something, and it's just people reliable that are sure they won't lose their keys. Yeah. So that's my worry, and that's user error, not anything wrong with Bitcoin, nothing with the system, but the system can't protect itself against me. If I lose my password, if my cookie burns down tonight, even though I've got my bits hidden away, if it goes on fire tonight, there's nothing I can do about getting it back. So that's always going to be a risk to I'd say most people. Yeah, keep several and keep them all in place.
If you got cash and you forget where you put it, you know, there used to be a thing in the United States where a lot of the people after the Depression were really worried about losing their cash, and they would bury it in their yards in mason jars. So we had, my grandpa used to sell these, or used to go to these auctions after people died and get the stuff ready to sell on the auction for the rest of the family. And the things they would find in their tool sheds and stuff, you know, they would find these jars in there that had just money wrapped up inside these little jars, like baby food jars, and it was just filled with money. I mean, thousands of dollars that they would have in these little jars, because this guy hid that money there because he was afraid that another depression or something was going to come along. But nobody else knew about this money, and it was hidden in this little jar, and he died, and so it was gone. So
there's a very nice documentary or short thing on the web about an Indian kid and about the reincarnation. And he goes to a village, and he's driving his parents' staff to go to this village, and he said, I used to be this person, and this was my shot. Village he's never been to, I can't remember, like 7 or 9 years old. Anyway, he goes up and he knew this was his wife. So the rich family looking at these two people, their son claims he's your ex-husband that died. And, yeah, scammers, you know, after hour, try to move into the family money. But when he spoke to the wife and he told her to go up some part of the room and open up the wall, and there was money hidden in it that even she didn't know about, then the family believed that this is, and they brought some people around that were, it's his Uncle Charlie, remember? No, don't have Uncle Charlie. And this one, and he's just a friend. No, he's part of the, and these families have come together. I can't remember much of the documentary, but it was a very professional made film. So the people that say about reincarnation or I don't know, let's just say it, you watch stuff like that and it's very hard to dismiss, because he was the owner, he'd hidden the money, the shop, like you say, in the home. I believe places like India and stuff, they don't all put their money in banks. The ladies wear gold, and maybe the men keep it hidden in the house and stuff. So no, for me, I'm quite happy for any money that democracy has to be right up there in public view for the whole world to see. I got nothing to steal. If I want money, there's easier ways than studying crypto to get it. Believe me, I'm just going to be an engineer for a while, you know. But the blockchain, public accountability, everything, smart contracts law. I love everything about the blockchain, and the finance aspect is a small part of it for me. So I hope whatever it is that use guys on WCN want the direction it to go for your own personal needs and for the wider community. I wish you luck. That's to say, I can't help in the design. I'm more than willing to help test, and if people are out there, why don't you use our wallet stuff? Great, you know, it's just, I'm looking for simple to use, and I'll need to make sure that it's secure. That Armory wallet that Chris advised, yeah, it's probably very secure, but it's not the easiest thing. Made my computer slow yesterday when I updated the database. Yeah, just wait for 8 hours.
It's complicated, and it's a lot of data to download if you download the entire blockchain.
Yeah. Okay, well, it must be getting near your lunchtime, so...
It's New Year's again. It's exactly the top of the hour, and so we got another New Year. So Happy New Year to the next time zone. And
yeah, you're still in 2014, baby. You need to catch up.
Yeah, you're in the future.
Yeah,
we got a future.
that's to say, you're talking to James Bond, not only across continents, but across times. Yeah, Back to the Future with Jamie Nelson. Yeah. So
I'm living in the past.
I'm quite happy if you've got anything going on in European time zone, or I don't know if Sumitra's in India or anything, but yeah, if anybody else is doing stuff tomorrow for New Year, I'll look in on the channel and either join on the Hangout or look for a live link somewhere. But I wish everybody.
Anna asked about the traditions here in Wisconsin and if they're any different from the other states in the U.S. too. And the traditions here, I don't go out anymore on New Year's. I haven't in a long time, but when I used to, and it gets really, really cold here, and it was like 25 below Celsius yesterday. So when we used to go out, and we have these snowmobile trails that go through the woods and through the farmers' fields and stuff.
Oh, I bet he's pleased about that.
And when I was younger, we used to take our four-wheel drive pickups and go drive on those, and we'd have beer and stuff, and we'd get a bunch of us in our Jeeps or four-wheel drive pickups and get a bunch of beer and then go out on the snowmobile trails and go find some place out in the middle of the woods somewhere and just go out and drink beer and maybe build a fire, or just sit in the Jeep and have a party inside the Jeep. But it limits the outdoor activities, and people die here because they get drunk and they don't make it home. They'll fall outside or whatever and freeze to death.
Yeah.
So
drunks don't care about the cold. They're out in a t-shirt and the sand shoes. In Scotland is like that. Guys are no jackets, no coats, because you're moving from house to house. But like you say, you drink so much, they fall asleep in a hedge, or just pass out. And I think when you've got alcohol, it lowers
the ice. And yeah, it's every year we hear about that, where somebody will fall on the ice or whatever and freeze to death, because it doesn't take long. I mean, the actual temperature was 25 below Celsius yesterday, and there was a good 15-20 mile an hour wind on top of that. So it was really cold.
That's to say that
it gets a lot colder than that too.
No, I've been here best part of 19 years, 20 years or something, coming and going for the first 5 or 6 years. But I mean, I found Australia cold, you know. My sister's worried about me burning my feet walking to the beach at Christmas Day, and I'm worried about the breeze coming up from the South Atlantic. You know, it's I've got soft, definitely got soft, but I think Chris is he put it on Twitter wherever he was off to. It wasn't anywhere warmer. He's not going to Spain or France or somewhere. He's going up the North Pole, I think. So I'll try and hook up with those guys. And if anything's happening with Theo or Anna at midnight Europe, I'll tune into WCN while I'm having breakfast. See if the cowboy's going to feed me in the morning.
Well, I was hoping some other people would join us here and we keep this thing going, but I'm about out of things to say for now.
I think you'll be okay if you go from Europe into the American zone. You got 5 hours or something, but you got a 6 hour dead zone, mate. I would get some food, have a rest.
Yeah. I can be plenty drunk in 6 hours if I start drinking. I only got 4 cans of beer here, though, so I would have to go buy some more beer because I don't think 4 cans would get me completely drunk.
Well, I've got a big teapot of coffee, right? I got me coffee, and I can't eat till the sun comes up. So that's what I say. I'll maybe eat twice tomorrow. If the Cowboys got the toast and jam out in the morning, I might join them. And I think we've got some food arranged for 11 o'clock, and we've got a surprise for the restaurant that I can't tell because they might be listening. So we're going to do something tomorrow while nobody's around. So just a nice surprise for them. As a little thank you for the nice way that they've treated us. So that's my plan. On the 5th of January, I'll have a couple of days in Bangkok doing some work, and I'll try and update you, and maybe I'll have an idea if these QR codes are going to be able to be done the way I want them. And if that's the case, then the wallets multi-sig wallets are quite important. Yeah, I've got time. I've got very little Bitcoin. I keep it on my phone. I think I've got 0.036 now. I've been getting LTB rewards for listening to the shows.
No.
Actually, the great show on about cancer today. Anybody that's not listening to the Let's Talk Bitcoin show, the late podcast, I think it's 174. There's an open source project connected with Bitcoin about cancer. I was listening to it today, and I've downloaded it. I'm going to listen to that again. I have friends that are interested in that stuff, so I've sent them the links. They're quite excited by what they're doing. But I get I think it's 0.000125 LTBE coins or something. But hey, I only need enough just to move around with friends, just to show them. I'm not after I won't be making my fortune on Bitcoin, definitely not. But Darkcoin is something I may buy a couple of just to play around with.
Yeah, it's something to show people how easy it is to move them between each other. And
yeah, well, Darkcoin, I think $2. You know, I don't mind sending $2 across the table or something. But you know, if I send somebody a whole Bitcoin, you know that I don't even own it. So that's I got friends that want to do this, and I've advised them multi-sig is the way to do it. If they're unsure about keeping their password secure, then do the multi-sig wallet. So I'll research on a couple of links that you mentioned before. So I couldn't promote anybody. I think there's CoinKite, CryptoBait, and IPO and things, but I've never researched any of them. So I'll have a look over the next 2 days.
I personally used the Copay one and found that to be quite user-friendly.
Copay, Coin, and CryptoBit, I think those are the 3 that I've noticed.
BitPay is one, and then CoinKite. I signed up on CoinKite, but it looked a little more complicated when I was trying to create one. But one thing you can do with the multi-sig wallets too is you don't have to have other people hold your signatures. You can hold your own multi-signatures. So for instance, if you wanted to keep if you're worried about losing your passwords, you could print them out and say, take one signature and put it in your safe at home, take another signature and put it in a safety deposit box somewhere or at a relative's house. And
stick it behind your wall clock. Okay, yeah, that's an idea. Yeah, I'll maybe test the other systems myself with that idea. Then it's just to do the multi-sig and print out the. See, the problem here with printing out is we've got all these mice and insects that eat everything. Yeah, same like the money. That's why they put them in these little tins and jars. So, yeah, there's a couple of things that I have to be careful about. It's okay, well, I'm just messing about, but if it's on paper, my room floods and leaks, and there was a snake in it the other day. You know, it's.
Yeah.
If the snake
I
needs
use Ziploc bags for a lot of stuff.
what?
I put stuff in like the sandwich bags, the Ziploc bags.
Oh yeah, I could get them because the jewelry industry use a lot of little things for, you know, little seal bag for moving one or two small diamonds and yeah, I can get that sort of stuff. Yeah, good idea. All right, well,
Because that's what I'll do. If I print out a piece of paper and I put it in the safe, but my safe, you know, they're not waterproof usually, the safes, so if it gets flooded or whatever, it's going to pretty much ruin your papers. Yeah. So I always like to put them in a baggie or something that's waterproof too.
All right. Yeah, that's to say, it's been a long time since. I mean, any money that's sent to me is usually done for a set thing, helping some lad in jail or passing money on to somebody else that's got a problem in Thailand. But my own money, just small donations and things. I usually keep it a little waistband, and I've left that with my Monk's ID papers and stuff. So. If I get a problem, I have a mycelium wallet on my phone, and I could get somebody to send me money. The problem is, how am I going to use that wallet in Rayong, right next to me? You know, there's nowhere I can get the money. So, it's something I'd like to do. Is to try and encourage more places to take it. You know, even if it's the bus companies. Yeah. Then I can still move around. I can still get home. I wonder if a taxi, you know, if taxi companies, but having to pay, you know, 1,000 baht to get home or something, you know, $30. Yeah, if I'm really stuck, I'm sure I've got friends who'll send me $30 to, you know, get me home. You don't need to be stuck. But there's so many temples in Thailand, I can just walk across the road and tell the abbot, you know, missed my bus, lost my bus ticket, can I stay for the night? So being a monk is not a true test of Bitcoin, you know. Somebody else that's got Bitcoin, and I think Chris tries to live on Bitcoin only, you know, and tries to focus it there. I think Andreas...
I think it would be harder for me too than it would be for Chris, because Chris is in, you know, he has Bitcoin ATMs and he's in a larger, Bitcoin is accepted more where he's at, and he can
he can get himself where yeah, and you might need to drive to the next state, mate. Your snowmobile.
I would. The nearest Bitcoin ATM to me, I believe, is in Chicago, which is a 7-hour drive. I mean, it takes me 2 tanks of gas just to get there.
And if you've only got one tank, you only got one full tank, you've got a problem. Yeah, this I say, there's. I think at the moment it's easier to send Bitcoin across the world than it is to send it across the bar, across the restaurant.
Yeah.
No, well, we don't take them. But sending money from Thailand to Brazil or something, yeah, it's great. But actually, the closer you get in the more rural areas, it just seems harder. You know, there's a lot of.
Once I get so I can go to the gas station and put gas in my car and buy donuts or coffee and go to the grocery store and pay for that stuff with Bitcoin. Yeah. That's the kind of user adoption that people need. You know, if you can go buy toilet paper with it, or buy food.
Well, you'll struggle with that in Thailand because we still using the water systems and squirters and stuff. But no, it has to be like that. The guy comes out of the factory, the forklift driver, the guys that work on the assembly line. He walks out and he wants to stop at a bar on the way home. Or the lady comes out and she wants to go and pick up tonight's dinner. You know, well, here it's vegetables or some fish on the way home or a steak. And if you can't do that, the average users, these millions of people, billions of people that are unbanked, they don't want to have this huge learning curve. They want to be able to walk out the same as they normally do, like the guys, and maybe buy some food and a bottle of beer. In Thailand, it's maybe like they'll buy 3 bottles between 3 lads and they'll have 1 glass, they'll sit down, and then they'll all go their separate ways. Now, if they can't do that with Bitcoin, they're not interested. It's
Well, yeah, a currency in reality is only as good as what you can buy with it, because, like, you know, I can't go to the gas station and spend an ounce of silver either, or an ounce of gold. They won't take it. I know one guy in town here, or I can spend gold and silver at a couple places in town here, but that's mostly about the only thing I can buy with it is guns or fiat.
Yeah, I know America's it's like that. You can buy the guns and stuff, and sign up for a bank account. You can get a free gun. Yeah, give me the money. Yeah, the gun culture.
The bank robs you.
Yeah, I know. But that's just say that real thieves. You know, the guy in the street, the robbers. You know, they hide their face and they cover it. They're ashamed to be robbers. But the corporate ones, these bankers and stuff, man, they smile at you while they're robbing you, you know, so it's daylight robbery.
That's what the joke is. You give a man a gun and he can rob a bank. You give a man a bank and he can rob the world.
Yeah. That's to say, it's about systems. It's not one particular bank. It's the system that's wrong. Chris Ellis posted some video, systems not goals or something like that. Very good. That's worth a retweet or something. But that's very much like Buddhism. Buddhism for me is a method. It's a system. It's a way of doing things. It's not a religion. It's not a philosophy. It's a method. And if you follow the method, yeah, I might never be in Nirvana. I might never be a very high attainment. But if I keep sticking to the method and doing the things that are laid out, then I will improve. Now, how far up the improvement goes, that's debatable. And the object is obviously to attain enlightenment. But I'm a bit of a realist. I think I'm struggling in this lifetime. I've come to Buddhism quite late, and Buddhism says you can, 7 days, 7 hours, 7 minutes. You can, enlightenment comes in a split second. But I think for me, if I can move up slowly forward in the forward direction and the upward direction, that'll do for me. As long as I'm moving forward, I'm not in any big rush. I've got a Buddhist concept of time. It's not this lifetime. Kalpas and aeons and billions of years. So, okay, as long as I can get a solid foundation in this space and time, that'll do. And as long as I don't go in the downward direction, I'll be happy with that. So, and that's what I want for everybody else.
Yeah, if you can live a happy life, or, I don't wish harm on anybody, so...
No, it's not about, happiness is just another state of mind like sadness and stuff. But nobody wants to be unhappy. It's that most sentient beings, right? They just don't want uncomfort, unsatisfactoriness, and so, as I said, everybody wants happiness in some sense, right? So that's, as long as people are left alone enough, I think most people can achieve it. If you want to paint or play music or whatever it is that makes you happy, that's great. But mostly we've got like the snow. You can't do, well, you can move, but if it's minus 25, it's kind of hard to be happy, yeah. So I couldn't be happy.
I got a warm house. That's the thing that's important to me right now, is a warm house.
Yeah. So that's it. I think
And internet.
Happiness for different people's different things. You know, it's, and for me, I'd like to. I'm 52 this year. I'll give it another maybe 3 to 5 years. I'm starting to feel the aches and pains. You know, I put in long hours, long shifts. It's not great for my practice. I had a very good practice today. People might have noticed I was away for 6 hours or something, sitting nice, no computers, no nothing. So that's me. I'm in a very good place, and I'd like other people to have some of the same. And if I can help do that, that's my aim for 2015. A little bit more action and less study. So I'll hand the study over to you guys if you don't mind.
Yeah, sometimes I think I'm going to just leave the internet off for a day or so and just do other stuff and get back to like it used to be in the old days before we had internet. It's hard to imagine what it was like back then now, because
if they'd had internet when I was at college, I'd never have passed the exams, I'm sure. Yeah.
If it's because I can't hardly imagine going through a day now without, you know, checking email and going on Twitter and, you know, checking things on the internet. But, you know, I went 27, 28 years of my life and never even heard of an internet.
Yeah. No, as I say, I think that I don't know if there's any studies done at whether social media and grades and stuff like that, but I mean, I was into music when I was at college, punk, from punk to monk in one long, slow, painful lesson. But I was into punk, some country. I mean, I like music, all music. So it was bands, football, and the bar every day, and the darts team. In Scotland, a lot of the social life focuses around the bar or meeting up for a drink and going on to places. But let's just say I had enough time for studying and doing my darts team with snooker, music, and football. And if there'd been much more, I didn't do motorbikes. My mother's a nurse, and she only asked me that, don't get a motorbike, son. And my dad go, come on, your mum won't sleep until if you're out on the motorbike. So okay. I did go on the back. I didn't own my own motorbike, but I was on the motorbikes with most of the guys. And as I say, she was happy. I don't have a motorbike. I just walk out the house and meets me around the corner. But she's working as a nurse. She's had to fix people's heads and faces and everything, and where they went along the road at 100 miles an hour on there. It goes through leathers pretty quick and jeans and stuff, and she's the one that's got to put all the skin back on. And so okay, if you're watching, Mom, sorry about that. But no, it's I'm on motorbikes here every day now. It's just the only way to travel in Thailand. But I understand for people that worry and road safety. If you're in a crash in a motorbike, in the car, yeah, you got a much better chance. And I had a Rover 2000 all time, and they're built solid. You know, it's like having a Volvo or something. If you're going to be in a crash and you're in a big car, a Merc, a Volvo or something. So yeah, I'm not a parent, and I never will be. But a lot of people, I notice the change in them when they become a parent themselves. You know, the dads get a little bit more protective and go out drinking less than that. My friend will be coming over. His Thai fiance is expecting a baby on mid-February, so he'll be here for that. And as I say, that's it wasn't a planned event, so he'll be 50, expecting his first kid. That's a big change for him, you know, and if I can do things to try and help him a little bit in Thailand, I will. But yeah, it's something I've been lucky enough. I like kids. I like teaching in schools, doing stuff. I like the younger, primary 1, 2, and 3. They're great, easy to teach. I've always tried to be good with my nieces and nephews and other people's kids, but being somebody who runs about the world doing different things, my job was an engineer, you know, going different places at weekends and bands, and I wouldn't even have a goldfish. Poor thing would be dead. You know, go off to Edinburgh for a day and come back 10 days later. Yeah. So, Mum's been phoning the hospitals, or anybody from Glasgow been ended up in the hospital. There's 3 of them together. Nobody could find us. But that's to say, all this mobile phone technology, it's not needed anymore. You know, you can go home. Hey, I'll be staying out. But it seemed a big trouble to call home at the time. Yeah. And you're a guy. I got to call me mum, say, you can't do that. Can't do that when you're out with the boys. I'm a punk rocker. Do what I like, mate. Sneak off and phone me mum. Yeah, I'll be staying out tonight, mum. So, anyway, bud, I'm going to go and get myself a coffee. Everybody's gone to bed now, so I'll need to look after myself. And if you're on in the morning European time, I don't know, 5 hours from now, 4 hours.
I'll have to see how things go. Like I said, I go with the flow.
Okay. Well, as I say, I'll come on in the morning and I'll look at the time zone calendars. I know James was an hour ahead of me, and I thought could have got him on first, but it looked like he's in a real noisy place. So I guess a lot of other people might be the same. You know, when it comes to Europe, people's out enjoying themselves. So thank you for setting up the hangout, Jamie. I hope you have a good 2015, and everybody else, and the crypto in general. I hope we move forward and everybody gets some success. Except that Losky.
Yeah, I do too.
I hope his plans fall apart.
Yeah, I hope his new job doesn't come through for him, or he ends up getting regulated.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, thank everybody for joining us, and we're going to call it a show here, and hopefully maybe Mad Bitcoins or somebody will be starting up a show later on for New Year's Eve, or probably will be back tomorrow for New Year's Day. So thank you everybody for joining us, and now my cat wants some love, I think, so you can't deny the orange cat. So we're signing off. Happy New Year!